Hi Virgo, let's do your love reading. I'm going to use 2 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks. I'm going to do a 4-layered spread in order to try to capture as much of the energy as I can between you and your person. So we have 5 of Wands, Page of Cups, 3 of Cups, the Magician, 7 of Wands, 10 of Swords, 3 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, 2 of Swords. Underneath this deck is the 6 of Wands. So then we'll get 6 of these oracle cards. So we have the Cat and Lavender, the Crow and Dogwood, the Frog and Lotus, the Turtle and Coriander, the Antelope and Wheat, and the Beaver and Birch. Underneath this deck is the Hare and Oak. So then we'll do 6 of these tarot cards next for our 3rd layer. The Magician just wanted to show itself, and we have the Magician here too. I'm going to shuffle that back in, but we'll see the significance of the Magician hopefully as we go. So there's the Star, Justice, the Hermit, lots of majors, Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. Underneath this deck is 8 of Pentacles. And then finally, we're going to get 2 of these. And then we're going to really get into this energy between you and your person. So we have opportunity and we have wisdom. And underneath this deck is embracing. So I feel like, especially with the Hare and Oak and this opportunity card, I feel like there's something that's keeping the 2 of you apart, having to do with new opportunities. So for example, if one or both of you has become very successful in your work life and there's an opportunity to move or something like that, I get a sense that your work life is keeping you apart, or some new thing that you can embrace has come along your path, and it may be something that's driving a wedge between the 2 of you. So, and that's just what I'm getting from this surface area. So we're going to really get into each of these positions and see what's going on. But that's what I have so far, that there may be something work related that's keeping you apart. Success that one or both of you is having, new opportunities when it comes to that. And it feels like you're being drawn towards that, which in essence will draw you away from this person. So, but let's get into this. So the energy that exists between the 2 of you is the Knight of Pentacles, the Antelope and Wheat, King of Pentacles, and Wisdom. So it feels like you have a really special relationship with this person, because I'm seeing the Knight and the King of Pentacles, which tells me that you probably have some history together, some stability together. You've probably manifested each other in. You might have shared assets together with all these pentacles. And it feels like with the Antelope and Wheat and Wisdom, it feels very stable, very nourishing, very nurturing. And I also feel like there is a spiritual connection between the 2 of you. So this feels like your person so far, but I do feel like perhaps there is something coming between the 2 of you. So in your person's feelings, we have the 10 of Swords and the Turtle and Coriander. They feel like this is over. And it feels to me with the Turtle and Coriander that they're allowing you to leave, or if they're the one who is leaving, that they're just allowing it to happen. So if something happened between the two of you where you felt like there was some kind of an end that came to something, maybe you did move for work already. But whatever progress you had made between the two of you, whatever long-term commitments you made between the two of you, it feels like your person thinks it's over. But I also get the sense that they could be overlooking some important detail. So let's see if we can try to figure out what that is. The actions that they're taking towards you are the Three of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles is giving that same energy as opportunity and the Hare and Oak. They would like to present to you some opportunity. They would like to give you something, but they're not doing that. With the Three of Wands, it's like they're standing on this shore with this thing they want to give you, but they're not doing it. They're not coming towards you with whatever that is. So again, I feel like they're just allowing you to leave. So make that make sense for you and your situation. But it does feel to me like if you're leaving for work and they're just letting you, they think it's over. But again, I can't help but feel that there's a really special connection between the two of you. Could it be, Virgo, that you are running from this situation? I could read it that way too. That you could just be disappearing on this person. You could be becoming invisible to this person. And even though they want a new opportunity with you, you may have already found a new opportunity elsewhere. So whether that be work or love or whatever, you may have ran out on this person. I could read that this way. In your feelings, you have the Two of Swords and home. So this is a very conflicting kind of energy too, where you feel stuck. I mean, it almost feels like, I've never read this beaver and birch card this way before, but doesn't it kind of look like, because of the size of this beaver, that he looks like he's stuck in between, like he's wedged in between those two birch branches? And with this Two of Swords, it's certainly a card of being stuck. So this, again, I could read this, Virgo, that you're the runner and that you are trying to wriggle out of this situation where you feel very stuck. But I am inclined to, because this kind of looks funny to me now, but I'm inclined to tell you to keep your sense of humor and don't take this so seriously, that you're not really stuck. This feels like a very special connection between the two of you. So it might be a mistake to ditch this situation because perhaps you're feeling too much or because you're feeling stuck. And that may be what your person may be just allowing you to go because they figure they can't change your mind anyway. Flip these roles if you feel like this is your person and not you who's doing the running. So your actions are the Hierophant and the Four of Pentacles. And so I feel like you're not doing anything either. You're holding back your energy. And again, I could read this, that you have ghosted this person or you're running from this person. Even though with the Hierophant, I think you see that this is your person, you're still not giving them any of your energy. You are really not giving them anything at all. And they're not giving you anything at all either because they feel like it's over and what's the point? So the way they see you as the Page of Cups and the Star. So I think that they know that you have some wounds that need healing. I think they understand that perhaps something happened in your childhood with the Page of Cups that needs healing. Oftentimes our deepest wounds do come from our childhood. But when I see the Page of Cups and the Star together, it does make me feel like childhood wounds. So whatever is triggering you in this relationship that's causing you to run, your person is very well aware that this is a wound of yours. And they're not taking it personally, which I think is why they're allowing you to, they're releasing you. They're allowing you to go your own way. I'm also getting a feeling from this, which is kind of separate from the overall message, that if you were to spend time in nature, that would really help your healing. So that's for somebody. So you see your person as the Magician and the Hermit. So this kind of stands to reason with what we've already seen so far, that your person is trying to manifest you in, but yet they are withholding themselves. They're, again, allowing you to leave. So I think you're both seeing each other correctly. I'm also getting the sense with the Magician and the Hermit that there have been some sacred boundaries put around this relationship. So it feels like with the Hermit card that perhaps your person's ancestors are keeping them from approaching you because they want them to take care of themselves in this situation until you both do the healing. In other words, there's not a good time for the two of you to come together. And so if you feel the need to run and your person feels the need to chase you, in other words, their ancestors are kind of holding them back in this Hermit energy of being more assertive for themselves and respecting their own needs and their own self-care. So if you feel like your person is just allowing you to leave, I think you're reading the room correctly, that they are allowing you to leave, but it may be more of their ancestors' choice than their own choice. So their intentions are the Five of Wands and the Cat and Lavender. So the Cat is a very independent energy. And so they intend to leave you alone with this independence, but it's hard for them. So there's our confirmation that it's their ancestors that are holding them back, because I think they would like to chase after you. I think they very much would like to chase after you, but they have to fight that feeling and just be on their own. They've got the Cat and the Hermit. And so it does feel like they're meant to use this time alone for them to perhaps maybe get over the resentment they might feel if you are doing the running, or anger that they might feel if you are doing the running, or arguments that you might have had with this Five of Wands. So again, make this make sense for you and feel free to switch these roles. But your person does feel like they want to chase you, but they're not. And I believe their ancestors are stopping them from doing that because it gives you the chance to do your own healing. In your intentions, we have the Seven of Wands and Metamorphosis. So I think you know more than your person may think you know. I feel like you would still like to fight for this connection. You still have some interest in this person. I mean, I can tell that you do because of all of this Pentacle energy, the Wisdom energy, the Antelope and Wheat. There's so much nurturing and nourishment and wisdom and work and history in this relationship. It feels like that you still feel like you want to fight for this connection, but I also get the sense with the Frog and Lotus that you might find your person to be a bit too clingy, because I can't help but go back to this beaver being stuck, this feeling like they're stuck. Even though you feel like this is your person, I feel like these are your wounds that need to be looked at, that if people start to get too clingy in your energy, it triggers you. And so I do feel like you have every intention of doing this healing, that you would like to fight for the connection, but you'd also like to fight and stand up and heal your own wounds and go through that really difficult metamorphosis of like this frog turning from a tadpole into a frog. And with the lotus, really that spiritual energy that comes from that massive transformation. Your intention is to do just that, and probably to come back towards this person once your healing is more complete. Because the energy that keeps the two of you together is the same, not the same, but very similar as the energy you're already bringing. This is an incredibly special relationship. There's the Three of Cups, the Crow and Dogwood, justice and opportunity. You both know that this is your person. You both know this. I think with the Three of Cups, you have absolutely no trouble communicating with each other. You talk more, you make sure all your cards are on the table. I think that's why you're both reading the room correctly, Your person sees you as healing, and I see you healing. And you see them as pulling themselves away and allowing you to leave, and I see them as doing that. So your communication is strong. I feel like there's an intelligent connection here. I feel like you are each other's karmic balance, and with opportunity, again, because I see this opportunity 3 times. I see it with the Hare and Oak, I see it with the Ace of Pentacles, and I see it now here. You both know the massive transfer, or the massive opportunity that exists here between the two of you, but it can't happen. Their ancestors won't allow it until you've done your healing. And it feels to me like you have every intention of doing that. Once you go through that metamorphosis of understanding that when someone loves you, it's not a trap. Wow, I just heard that. So whoever that is for, if you feel like love is a trap, that feels like a wound that you have every intention of healing. Once you do that healing, then your person's ancestors will allow them to come back into your energy. And I think at that time, that is when this wise opportunity is going to happen between the two of you. So Virgo, I really am getting that there is just a wound here that needs to be closely looked at, that love is not a trap. So there you go, Virgo. That is your love reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.